Hello guys, this is Jamie. Welcome to the third and final instalment of the Greek Billionaire Experiment here on Football Manager 2018. Now, when you left us last time, we were on this screen here with Xanthi winning the Greek Super League in 26-27 season. We've now advanced another 5 years into the future, and we're going to see basically what has happened in the Greek Super League in that time. Now, we're going to have a look at transfers. Now, a lot of these will be regens, so we're going to be spending less time on those today, but we'll have a look at one or two along the way. We're also going to look at who's been winning the Greek Cup, who's won the Greek Super League, where that is in terms of competition reputation, and the performances on the European stage. Have any of these Greek teams managed to get any form of European silverware? And then we're also going to take a look at what kind of managers are in the Greek Super League at this point and how the Greek national team have performed on the European and world stage. So first of all then, let's go and have a look at the Greek Super League winners. So first of all then, Xanthi were the champions of the 26-27 season, which we saw before we left. So the first one after that went to Olympiakos, who were back on top with a 3-point victory over Xanthi and PAOK. Ergotelis and Apollon relegated down into the second division, but it was Olympiakos who were by far the best team over the course of the season, and they added another piece of silverware to their cabinet. Now, Xanthi, who managed to wrestle that title back from Olympiakos, and Panathinaikos were back up there in second position. Tripoli and Hania were relegated from the Greek Super League in the 28-29 season. In the 29-30 season, Aris were victorious by a point from Xanthi, who have been banged there now for a large number of seasons. Atromitos and Ergotelis were relegated again. Larissa, big improvers, and Platanias improving up to third and fourth position. Doxodramas making their way up the league as well. A poor season for both Panathinaikos and Olympiakos, down in 7th and 9th position. AEK are slipping down the league as well. Aris, though, managed to pick up a victory there by a point. And Aris followed that up by retaining their title in the 30-31 season over Olympiakos by a 12-point margin. A really good performance by Aris throughout the season. A lot of drawn games between Olympiakos and Xanthi cost them points towards the back end of the season, and they finished second and third. Doxodramas move up a place into fourth. Platanius in fifth. And AEK, as we just discussed the previous season, were dropping down, and they have gone down into the second division. They were relegated here in bottom position with Lamia, and PAOK, who won a various amount of trophies since we started this experiment, are down in 13th position. Very worrying times for PAOK. This is a team which has been one of the main superpowers in this Greek Super League in this experiment. It's slowly dropping down the league now. So we're going to go and have a look into the future again, and Aris, 3 seasons in a row, have won the title again. Excellent stuff. This, just losing 2 games throughout the season, only 18 goals conceded, an excellent defensive performance, 68 points, winning by 11 over Xanthi, who remain one of the top clubs in Greek football. Panathinaikos back up in third position. PAOK rise right the way back up to fourth, which is really good. There was worrying signs the previous season that they might just fall through the foot of the Greek Super League table, but they've managed to get themselves back in contention. Olympiakos in fifth, Hania, Platanias, Doxodramas, and relegated down at the bottom, PS Giannia and Levadiakos, who have sadly been relegated again. I'm pretty sure that is it. So we're going to go and have a look then at the past winners, and we can see here that Aris have strung together 3 very impressive titles. Now, when was the last time they won a title in this Greek Super League? It was in 1945-1946 season where they won over AIK, and they've won in 27-28 and 31-32. So it's been a long time between drinks for Aris, who managed to get the job done. And not only that, they've won 3 in a row. Excellent performance. Excellent performance indeed. Now, we've got to go and have a look now at the Greek Cup, which we can see we're typing in. And Panathinaikos have been pretty dominant in recent times. We left, I believe, when Xanthi added their name to the title, as it were, over Olympiakos. And Olympiakos reversed that result the following season in 27-28 with a victory over Xanthi. Panathinaikos beat Doxodramas in 28-29 and 29-30. Doxodramas fans must be absolutely livid with that. Xanthi win another piece of silverware in 30-31 with a victory over league winners Aris, before Panathinaikos added their name again to the titles with a victory over Olympiacos. Now, we're going to go and have a look quickly at the transfers in the Greek Super League. We're not going to spend too much time dwelling on this one, though. So we're going to go in quickly and we're going to have a look at... So we've got 61 million was the top money spent. A lot of these are going to be regens. Luca Pellegrini, 45 million pounds, 33-year-old Italian. Theo Hernandez, various others in there as well. 56 to 70 million for David Leroux. Igor Lapin, 63 mil. Vasco Castro, 58 million. Xanthi, top spenders there, along with Aris. And the following season, IFI were top spenders, 81 and 77 million pounds spent on a pair of English League-based players in Ruben Gertz and Hugo Managerial. Elvis Lubicic, rather, from Brighton to Larissa for 75 million. And Ivica Knezovic from Lyon to Larissa. Larissa spending quite well. And Dr. Drama's there with a good amount of players brought in there. And then finally, penultimately, Hakan Karuku went from Aris to Juventus. Noam Roche, Miguel Ferreira, Aston Villa, a couple of good buys there. And then we've got Aris top spending again here with Mohamed Sayar, Felipe Mel, Quentin Marichal from Xanthi to Monaco, Sauli Leskinen from Xanthi to Real Madrid, and Kakada from Xanthi to Man United. And obviously this is the current window, so they've lost Franco Kirklees to Arsenal, and that's pretty much it really. So in terms of transfers, we're not going to dwell too much on that. Let's have a look at the profile of the league then. So when you left us, we were here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're 7th when you left us. We've moved up to 6th now in the competition reputation. Let's have a quick look at the reputation of the Greek Cup, shall we, while we're here. And the Greek Cup has moved back up to 4th. It did drop down to 5th at one point, but we're back up to 4th behind the German and French Cup. The Taça de Portugal has dropped below. So it's good to see the French Cup building stature as well. And the English FA Cup is obviously still the top one. Now, a team which has come through into this division for the first time is this team here. It is Agrotikos Asteras Evosimu, who has rose right through the leagues. And they've spent a lot of the team in the National B division. But they've finally grown and grown. And they've got themselves into the Super League now. We're not going to go and see how they get on, unfortunately. But... you know, it's a really good thing for them. So in terms of management now, I think the best way to do this is going to have a look at the last season's title. Now, we're going to have a look at Aris first of all. And we can see here that Laurent Blanc is the manager of Aris, has come in the 2031 season after being at Montpellier and has had spells at Olympiacos prior to that as well, which is good. Xanthi have Klaas-Jan Huntelaar in charge, obviously better known for his striking prowess, but has really done well as a manager. Has come in at Xanthi after various spells. He had a spell at Panathinaikos, at Bochum, spent some time in France as well with Nancy. But Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is doing a reasonable job. Panathinaikos have Roberto Mancini in charge. Needs no introduction really. Motivating stat of 1. I'm not sure that's particularly fair, but he's had spells at various teams. A couple of spells at Aris, Limia, 3 seasons there before they moved to Panathinaikos. PAOK have Andre Schürrle as manager, 41-year-old German. We can see here that his stats need some improvement, but he has did spend his last season at Platanias before becoming manager of Limia and Larissas before moving to PAOK. So Andre Schürrle is now moved into management. Claude Makelele has moved across to Olympiacos after various management spells, a lot of them short, a couple of seasons. He has managed PAOK back in 24-26, has been with Arsenal, Brighton, Metz before moving to Olympiacos. Let's have a quick look at Hanya, who have Nikos Kounanakis, Platanias, Luis Pereira, who was, I'm sure he was with PAOK. So yeah, he had a season at PAOK before moving to Platanias, and he's doing a reasonable job. They've climbed the leagues quite nicely. Dr. Dramas has Vitor Gazimba as manager, a Portuguese manager come across from Stromsgodet to Caen to Reims, now moved to Dr. Dramas. So they're getting some good managers in this league at the moment. Panonios, Georgios Alexopoulos, 55-year-old Greek, and they're just improving. There's good managers in this league now. So let's go to the profile of the league. Let's go and have a look at the national team then. We can see that they have risen to 50th in the world. When we last looked, they were down in 75th position, but they've now got all the way up to 50th. They did manage to climb to 30th at one point. Now let's have a look at their competition. So they haven't won anything in terms of European football since we last looked. They did win the Under-19 Championship in 2029, which is excellent stuff. Let's have a look at the past winners then. So they beat Ukraine in 2029. Let's find the final. So we can see here that it was a 2-1 victory. We can't go and look at that, unfortunately. But it's really good for the young players of the Greek national team. Now let's go and have a look. So 2029 would have been 3 years ago. So they're probably in the under-21 / full team squad now. So we've got Tassos Anastiu, who plays for PAS Giannia, who looks quite decent at the age of 19. He was part of the European Under-19 Championship winners, which is really good. I don't think we can go in and have a look, really. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go and have a look at the senior squad. We've got Christos Banavaxis, who was part of that winning team. He's currently on loan from Inter Milan. Looks reasonably good. Polykriadis wasn't part of that squad, and I think a lot of them are yet to break through. They're probably going to be down in the under-21s. We can see Thalis Psychogios. He currently plays for PAOK, moving there quite recently, but he was part of the under-19 championship winning team, and he's got some building to do, but obviously there's plenty of time and plenty of room in which to do that. So that is the Greek national team looked at. They've risen up to 50th from 75th, so there's been a good improvement there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to skip, well, we're not going to skip any further actually, we're going to go back to the Greek Super League rather, and we're going to have a look through at the, I'll tell you what we'll do. First of all, we'll go for the Champions Cup. We'll do it this way rather than going through each season, and just see if there's any form of, so there's no Greek teams there, unfortunately, which isn't great. So they haven't managed to break through into the Champions League. Euro Cup, I've clicked on the wrong one, haven't I? Euro Cup, so here we go. So we left at Everton. Oh, wow, Olympiacos have won the Euro Cup in 27-28, which is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Olympiacos beating Manchester United in the final at Hampden Park in Glasgow. Excellent stuff. And let's have a look when the last time a Greek team managed to put their hands on the Europa League trophy. I'm going down here and I can't see them. I'm sure it's going to be embarrassing if I've gone past them. There doesn't appear to be any there at all. So that is brilliant stuff there. I'm sure they might have won a Champions League or so, but they haven't won any Europa League silverware. So let's go then and have a look at this final if it will allow us to. I'm not too sure it will allow us to be honest. I'm not allowed to look for full match details. So what we will do then is we'll go into the schedule for that season. 28, 29 was it, I think? No, it's 20, must have been 27, 28. So we can see here then that they got through the group stages, which was good. They got through the first round knockout leg with a victory over Sparta Prague. And then they beat Arsenal 2-0 in the second knockout round, second leg, after losing the first leg 2-1. They then drew the first leg of the quarter-final of the Europa League with West Brom, but beat them 2-1 in the second... No, drew 1-1, sorry, in the second leg at home, but they went through on away goals. They then lost 1-0 at home in the Europa League semi-final. Went through on penalties in the semi-final with a 1-0 victory before beating Manchester United 2-1. And it was Gilvan and Daniel Sintra Santoro who managed to get the goals for Olympiacos to win the Europa League final. Felice Di Amico opened the scoring for Manchester United in the 41st minute. And it was Daniel Sintra Santoro, who is Greek, 24 years of age. Surprised he's only had 27 years of age, rather 24 million he's valued. I'm surprised he's only had 2 caps at international level, considering he's won endless awards. He's won a Super League, Greek Cup, Europa Cup. Excellent stuff there. And let's get down the bottom of here again and get that final look. And Gilvan as well. Let's have a look at Gilvan. So it's Brazilian, 27 years of age, still with Olympiacos, has not been capped at international level, but has done really good for Olympiacos. And it's really good to see. He's an under-20 World Cup winner with Brazil also, and that's it's pleasing to see. So we have managed to make an indent into Europe. Olympiacos, who would have thought, given the recent great run of Xanthi and also Aris, who have won the last 3 back-to-back Greek Super Leagues, but it was Olympiacos who managed to get the job done on the European stage with a victory over Manchester United. Now, let's have a look and see if we can get the Super Cup up. Did they manage to win the Super Cup? I'm pretty sure they probably wouldn't have known it. Unfortunately, it was Monaco who got the beating of them with a 3-2 victory at the Toulouse Stadium over Olympiacos. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to allow us to look at that. So, I hope you've enjoyed this experiment, guys. This has been the Greek Billionaire. I have been Jamie. Thank you ever so much for joining me on this series. If you have enjoyed today's video, remember to leave a big fat thumbs up on the video down below. If you've got any comments or any experiments you'd love to see me do, obviously we've just done Greece and we've also had a look at Romania. Make sure you pop them in the comment section down below if you're new to the channel and you want to see more Football Manager 2018 content, and hit that subscribe button. But for today, guys, I'm out of time. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and I'll catch you again soon.